Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to welcome Todd Barnes, and he is the author of Heart of Coal. Todd, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Sure. As soon as I get rid of this banner, there we go. Um, Heart of Coal is a dual narrative. It follows the story of Wani, and that's his real name. It was a name that was only used about 30 times post 1900, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. It's a German derivative meaning rare flower, and Wani's life certainly did follow that pattern. He was pretty rare. He was my grandfather. The
Okay.
book is fictional, but I'll leave it to the reader to decide which parts are fiction. Uh, as we all know, a good story looks better with some paint on it. So that's exactly what the fictional parts are. But the real part of it is that he had a dynamic impact on his grandson, me. It follows his life and the application of those lessons that he passed on through his grandson. Wani was born into rural Appalachia. At about the same time, coal became king to stoke the furnaces of the industrialization of America, specifically past post World War One. And he really was born into a backdrop of extreme poverty, extreme abuse, and extreme disadvantage. His uncles became his savior. They were very prominent in the town that he lived in, while his father was a moonshiner and an inveterate drunkard. The abuse got to the point where the uncles took him into their home, and there they instilled in him a love of education, a love of faith, and it really transformed his life. If I were to say anything about the story, it would be using the triumvirate of faith, hope, and love. He had an extreme faith in his God. He had an extreme faith that he would be led in the direction he needed to be. And sometimes those paths were not easy. The hope was that with enough resilience and endurance, that you could soldier through difficulties. And of course, the love was the love of family, love of God, and those stories that he passed on to those that are remaining.
Wow, it sounds like he persevered through a lot, and it also sounds like he taught you a lot of really important lessons, Todd. What was your inspiration for writing the book?
Sometimes you tell stories, and sometimes stories tell you. And that was one of those of the latter. He left such an lasting impact. And really, when looking at his story in total, it wasn't supposed to be a success story. Everything was lined up against him. Uh, the book has been compared in some ways to Kill a Mockingbird and to Hillbilly Elegy. Both
Wow.
those stories tell the resistance against ills, societal ills, how to push back against them, how to persevere through them, and come out on the right side. Um, that's his story. And I always felt like it needed to be told. Uh, it was told in me, but it needed to be shared. And those that have read it, it's finding really good traction with those people. It was exciting to go into the library the other day and check it out, and it was already checked out. So I was pretty excited about that. So
Oh, that is so cool. I love that you took the time to write his to write down his story, and also I think about the things that he taught you. Now he can teach, anyone who reads this book. So I think that that's amazing.
yeah, it's really found resonance with people who were raised in the Southeast United States who had relatives that were coal miners, and it's not, and it will resonate with them, and they readily identify with the struggle that group of people had at that period of time. There were no rights for the workers. The unionization process was arduous at best and dangerous, and the people that persevered through that, and then we all know of the great migration north in the 50s when coal began to wane and auto industrialization began to really take over. That migration north brought a great deal of cultural difference, and people had to once again learn how to live brand new lives. And I think it has resonated with people that identify with that.
Well, Todd, is there anything else that you want to share about the book or any of the messages within the book or anything about yourself?
um, I'm retired at long last. The book has really been a work in progress over the last 10 years, I'd say. And when I decided to retire, I took 6 months to dedicate myself to the writing of the book. Um, it is one of those legacy things. I know everybody says they've got a book inside them, and I believe that. But the legacy, the thing I'm most proud of is that it's a legacy that is shared. There are people who can identify with it, and it really is that message. So, as far as aspirations for the book, I hope people that read it find meaning, find substance, and if they're struggling, I hope they find some form of courage to soldier on.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Todd. For anybody who's interested in picking up a copy of this book, again, it's Todd Barnes, and the title is Heart of Coal. You can get it on Amazon.com, Apple Books, and BarnesandNoble.com, to name a few. Thank you for being with us today, Todd.
Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate the time.